What should I look for when choosing a roofing contractor? This is a great question, and if you are hopping along this video, maybe you are looking for a roofing contractor, or maybe you will be looking for one soon for a project on your own house, or maybe your family member's house, and you have run into this. So hopefully I can answer a couple questions for you and help you with your particular search for the perfect contractor for you. So I want to start off by saying I had a roof put on my own house. My husband and I hired a roofing contractor. We were actually in general construction ourselves as contractors, and so we were in the construction world and still had a bad experience. So the experience was just horrible. The communication was horrible. They brought a big dumpster and dropped it in our driveway. Our driveway sank. They never told us when they were coming or going. I showed up and there was just so much garbage left over the next day. And I understand during the day because it's a crazy big project, but the next day there was so much garbage left around and it was just a mess. The final straw was we came home and we smelt nasty smells, and apparently they didn't go use a normal toilet, and so they used our dumpster, and so that was a really bad experience. And so we ended up firing that crew, and we brought on another crew, and we loved them, and they were just such a total opposite of the first experience we had. And so that's sort of how we started getting into roofing. We were like, there's got to be a better experience for a customer than this. So that's sort of how we got involved with roofing and the backstory. So anyway, I wanted to go over some tips that will hopefully help you when you're looking for your own roofing contractor. So the first tip I'm going to tell you is who can really do the job. So there's going to be people that give you estimates that aren't qualified to do the job. And it's hard sometimes as a homeowner to know who is qualified. So a good tip to try and find this out is you can call your local roofing association, and your local roofing association will have a whole list of very qualified roofers in your area. And from that list, they will also be able to tell you, yes, this person is experienced in this type of roof, or they're not experienced in that type of roof. All roofs do not come in, they're all sizes and shapes are not qualified for a roofing contractor to do. There's ways to do a proper roof, and a roofing contractor could go in and have all the proper credentials and be bidding on a job that's too big for their britches. So knowing a local roofing association and going by the qualifications that they say is one good tip. I would also say look for experience in the type of job that you're looking for. If you are doing a metal, if you're looking for a metal roof and you have a tile roof on there currently, make sure that they have ripped off tile roofs and installed metal roofs in their past and that they've done well. You can even talk to people. So, talk to previous customers that they've used before, and they can give references. Certainly when contractors are only a couple years old, you definitely want to call references. If a contractor's only been around a couple years, they just don't have the experience to know what needs to happen yet. I know because I've been through all of the stages. We've been around over 21 years, and trust me, there's a lot of stages. So definitely if you're dealing with a contractor that's been in business for less than 5 years, make sure you are talking to actual references in your area that did your type of work, and ask them about their experience with it. So that's another tip. Let's see what else. Make sure you get a very detailed scope of work, and that you're not counting on verbal information. Maybe that there's just conversation happening. Make sure everything's put down in writing. Make sure that you hire local. You don't want to hire somebody that's 2 hours away, because they are not going to be too happy if something goes wrong and need to come back to go to your house. So making sure they're in your own backyard and they're able to really take care of you as a customer, and not just a sale and then moving on. This roof, the roof is going to be on your house for a long time, and you want somebody that is going to be trustworthy to come around and do what needs to happen during the life cycle of that roof. You're going to have questions that come up. You're going to have storms that come up. You're going to have, additional things and, improvements that you do on your house. And some of them all affect the roof. And sometimes you really need to have the value. There's a value in having a relationship with your contractor who's able to help you with some of the questions that are going to happen down the road. So make sure you hire local. Make sure they have the proper insurances. If somebody only has a workers' comp exemption, they are not a qualified roofer. That a workers' comp exemption technically allows you to be able to pull permits with the city, but it only insures the one person, which is the owner, for insurance. So if you have more workers on there than one, you need proper insurance. So that's something that can definitely deter you if you have hired somebody that does not have the right insurances and they fall on your property or go through your roof. You want to have the right. They want to have the right insurances so that it doesn't go on your insurance. They need to have the correct auto insurance, the correct general liability insurance, and the correct workers' comp insurance. So make sure they have all those. Make sure they have an actual office that you can go visit. If they're doing a large project on your house, you need to make sure they're qualified. And if they don't have an office, they have not been around long enough to be qualified to do your roof. Let them practice on someone else's roof, not yours. Make sure you go and visit. There is a lot you can learn by just doing a site visit of the roofing contractor you are going to hire. You get to see the staff you're going to talk to that are going to walk you through the whole project, and you get to see what their office looks like. You get to see a lot of things when you go to visit there. Ask the roofing contractor if they are going to leave equipment at your house overnight, like a dumpster or a trailer, or if they're going to take it out at night, and if they're going to clean up at the end of the day. That's very important, because some companies will do cheaper things and put a dumpster at your house, and not only does that sometimes do damage, but you don't want that overnight. So whatever they bring there, whatever's safe for your house, you don't want them leaving stuff overnight. So make sure you ask them about that. I would say also look at their response time when you're going through all of the questions that are back and forth through this process. What is their response time when they're replying back to you? If they're not responding back at the beginning of the job, then how are you going to expect them to communicate throughout the job? I'll tell you, that's one of the biggest things I get complaints on when I talk to our homeowners. The best thing is they say, you guys just communicate wonderful. The worst thing is they say, you just drop the ball on communication. So communication is definitely something that is a huge effort in our place. So make sure when you're asking your roofing contractor, make sure they're responding. Make sure you have a way to call them, an email, find out who's going to be working with you through the process of your roof. Make sure you're looking at who you can call if you have any questions. So the next one would be reviews. In today's day and age, you need to have reviews. So if you go on Google and they don't have anything on there, then that's a problem. And if they have negative reviews, that's a problem. And not always, because sometimes things happen. This is a human job and mistakes happen. So, make sure you find a roofer who's going to own the mistakes and fix them. If something goes wrong, you need somebody that's going to hold your hand and go through the project and not leave you high and dry. So make sure that you look at their reviews online, and that they are good, and that you look at how your fellow neighbors are responding to the reviews. Make sure that they will answer your questions during the project, during the estimate process. Make sure that they're sitting down with you and going over all the different stages It's a big project. So make sure that they are taking the time to do that, and they're not just emailing you over a quote and saying, like, figure it out. This is not something that can be emailed and explained like that. It is a very large project. It's one of the largest things you'll do to your home. So take the time and really get to know the company that you're going to work with, and the expectations are all aligned, because that upfront, aligning your expectations much better than afterwards. I would say also, we're down to the end. The last thing I would say is it really boils down to trust. When you're choosing a roofing contractor, somebody that's going to be on your property, on your home, on your personal home, where you go home, your safety net, make sure they're people that you would want there. Make sure that they are reputable, and that you know that they have the clout behind them to do what they say and to really take care of you and your individual project. Every project is different. So I hope these tips were helpful for you, and that you learned a couple things so that you can, now take and look for, help you in your search for your own roofing contractor. And I wish you the best of luck on your next project. Thank you.